If you don't make this, you lose. If you make it, you're in the position to win.
Got him! One-handed catch as he goes up and gets it.
That's just a heck of a play.
And this is what happens when Dad takes the day off, right?
Little technical difficulties. We got it sorted out now. I'm still new at this, guys. I do apologize. He asked me to host one show, and this is what happens. I lock myself out of my own camera. This is going for two. As you can see, we are missing one guy. Shane is a busy man at work these days, so he could not make it tonight. So he's putting all his faith in Kalen and myself to get through the next hour, and hopefully you guys still watch. Outside of that, we have Liam controlling everything for us to make sure we're not complete idiots. We have a big show today. We have a really special guest. We have Lane McGregor coming up from Jackson State University.
Jackson State.
I don't know if they call it that. We're going to say they do, though. It just sounds way more official. They have a massive conference championship game coming up this weekend against Prairie View A&M. And he's going to give us a rundown. It's done with the SWAC, and all the people know about that conference. And I'm pretty excited to hear about it and how they've kind of turned this program around over in Jackson, Mississippi. So can't wait for that guy to come on. And Kalen, crazy week in the NFL. Some teams I didn't suspect to lose. I thought a team was going to lose, and we pulled it out. But, yeah, so what did you see?
Well, I mean, I saw my team get their asses kicked. Is what I saw. A beat-up Titans team get their asses kicked. But we'll get into that later. All in all, college football, all the way to the NFL. We had Thursday through Sunday. We talked about, like, maybe being tired by the end of the weekend. I don't know, man. I was involved. Like, right to the bitter end, I think I was involved this weekend. Saturday, I was at the Ohio State-Michigan game. I was right involved in that one because coming into that, I kind of said, like, maybe they might have a chance. But, again, we'll run that down a little bit later, right?
Yeah, it was crazy for me. I saw a bunch of college football on the weekend. Obviously, Michigan, Ohio State. It's one of the most painful things I'm ever going to have to say. I'm going to have to say nice things about a Michigan Wolverine team. And anybody who knows me or that follows me on any of my own social medias, all I try to do is trash the Wolverines and their fans every chance I get. And, man, the amount of text messages and social media messages I got on Saturday around 4:30, I was just sick of everybody. Well, what could I even say? Like, I deserved all of it. I couldn't say nothing back to them. You beat one of the best teams in the country, and I was like, well, today really sucks. How am I supposed to bounce back from this?
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, man, it was, well, obviously definitely that. Obviously, what went down in with USC in Oklahoma, another crazy event there. Outside of that, on my own end, the guys I've been coaching for a few years, they're going for a national championship up here in Canada on Saturday, so I'm pretty pumped about that at noon hour.
What's the name of the team, Chad?
The London Beefeaters. We are playing the Langley Rams out. They're coming from British Columbia. They're flying in Thursday or Friday for a game with us, and hopefully we get it done.
It's a long flight to get your ass kicked, isn't it?
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Obviously, for personal reasons, I did step down, but I do care about my boys. I care about my players. I've definitely helped them out a little bit behind the scenes as well, so I have a little bit more invested into it than some people. But, yeah, no, I'm pumped for my guys, and a lot of our own recruits got to play. And it's at Western University here in London. They're playing at 12 o'clock on Saturday, so anybody in the London area, definitely go out and check it out. It's really good football. And cheer on some local boys. That's all I can say about that. But let's roll right into it, man. The first game I want to talk about, I'm gonna leave your guys off for a little bit. We're gonna start on a high note. I can't just kick you right away.
Okay.
And I know Shane's probably listening somewhere while he's at work, and he's already aware of probably what's gonna come to him.
Okay.
We're not gonna give him a bye week. Just because he took a bye week doesn't mean that we're giving him a bye week.
You know, I brought it up to you, Chad. I don't know if it's for sure or not, but I think the last time the Steelers got whooped, and it might have been by a division opponent, Shane happened to take the next day off, didn't he?
Well, would you?
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes I don't want to face the music with you two. There's no doubt. It was nice today knowing I only had to deal with one of you.
And I'm the nice one.
Yeah. That's right.
But yeah, no. So yeah, we'll start with the first game. The huge game. I think it was probably the best game of the week going into it. The Packers and the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
The part that I thought was crazy was the Packers were playing at home in Lambeau, and they were actually the underdog.
Yeah. I mean, take it easy on those Rams though, because Liam's still producing here, right? He might put something on your face that you don't know about.
I'm watching on the other screen, so I know we're okay.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that Rams team, they went out and they made this super team, which, hey, I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to sit here and say that my boys weren't. About a month and a half ago, you were saying how you were excited that NFL might start building these teams. The Rams haven't won a game yet since they've done it. They're 0-3 since they brought in Von Miller and then Odell Beckham.
Mm-hmm.
So,
is that what happened? Yeah. Well, OBJ does do that apparently. I mean, there was 2 sightings of him yesterday. Did he have 2 catches? I think
one was a touchdown.
One was a bomb.
He did finish with 19 fantasy points. I don't know the exact number of targets that he had, but the one was a long touchdown. So that obviously pads the stats a little bit. I think at the end of the day, it's just they still can't run the ball, and when you get down into that cold weather, and you're gonna have to go to Lambeau again, and if you don't win your division, you might have to go to the NFC East, and I don't know if the Cowboys are going to actually hold that thing out. You might have to go to Philly. Well, if you can't run the ball, then you're not going to win in the cold. And I saw a Packers defense that was lights out. They were good on all levels. And Matt Stafford looked like he was still playing in Detroit.
Well, apparently he's dealing with a whole lot of injuries, right? Which is typical Matthew Stafford. I mean, he has played his entire career banged up somehow, some way. This might be the one though. It's his back, it's his shoulder, it's his ankle. It's all the things that you have in the motion of a throw are being affected, right? What else can the kid do? Or any of the kids, or what else can the guy do at this point, right? Now, I don't know. Maybe Liam might have to look this up for me too. Talking about they can't run. Was Sony Michel, was he traded to the Rams or was he a release and then pick up by the Rams? I don't remember how that went down. Because this could be another one of those. I think he was traded, wasn't he?
I don't know that one offhand. I want to say he was. I think he was
he was traded. Okay. Just for the season. So is it? Yeah, not a lot. But is this just another one of those examples of New England seeing? And now, mind you, they have this kid there now that's playing very well. But is this one of those seeing through the talent and just being we're already done with him already? It's a running back. We'll toss him to the side, get a couple draft picks out of it. That that they're going to flip those later rounds to move up, right?
Well, Sony Michel and another great kid that came out of Georgia, they've just produced running backs literally all day long, every day. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he's a receiving back. He's not an every down back. Which usually in New England, that's how they play the whole system. They'll run 5 or 6 running backs all year long. But I'm wondering, does he lost his legs? Is he not the same guy? Because he used to be pretty elusive, but he doesn't look like he's doing too much in LA. That being said, Matthew Stafford's never really thrown a ball to a running back, and that's kind of where Sony Michel makes his money. So that could be just a bad system for him. And it could be he might not be there next year. But once again, it's the Rams giving up future picks. They don't believe in draft picks in LA. So yeah, I think it's time to talk about how good Green Bay is. They've done it very quietly. Aaron Rodgers is one of my favorite humans in the whole world. He makes me laugh on the regular weekly basis when he's on the McAfee show. But yeah, he's playing great football again. His toe supposedly injured. Didn't look like it. He was running around, throwing the ball, doing it. And the one thing that I noticed was A.J. Dillon.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like a different animal than he was in years prior. He looks like he's leaned up a little bit, but he has no miles on him. And that's a big load to be coming down in the freezing cold there in Green Bay when he's got fresh legs all year. And I think now with Aaron Jones kind of being banged up a little bit, they're going to unload the big boy on them a lot.
Mm-hmm. And he's the most comparable player in the NFL to Derrick Henry, right? You get a guy like that in the cold weather in the playoffs. That's trouble. Nobody wants to tackle that. I know week 18, but I'm talking week 20 in the playoffs. When you're 2 weeks deep into the playoffs, nobody wants to hit that anymore. They're done with it. So yeah, he's really grown in that system, which has been great because when they lost Jones, I mean, they really thought they were going to take a hit there, and he really stepped into those shoes, filled them quite well. He's added another element because he's very agile for a big guy. He doesn't just have to go through between the tackles. The guy can get outside the box and play out there too. So Green Bay just keeps finding these riches. They played very, very well this past weekend against the Rams, and I don't know what to think of the Rams. They can't beat a team over 500. That just seems to be what it is. I think they're 6-0 against teams under 500, and then after that, they've lost every game, or they won one game against team 500. That's terrible. It's a team that it's like Hollywood. It's the team. It's the stadium. You got everything there. So,
yeah. No. Then now I'm sorry, man. I gotta do it. What the fuck happened to your Titans, man?
Well, I mean,
honestly, I'm gonna say it was my fault because I put money on them to win the AFC.
Asshole.
So I might have done this to you. I'm not gonna say I'm sorry, but my cool bet account's definitely laughing at me right now because I was high on your boys, and they're letting me down right now.
Well, there's still reason to be high on my boys. All right, we walked into that game. We talked about the receivers. Cody Hollister played 48 snaps. Do you even know who Cody Hollister is? Because like before this year, I
about him right now. You literally just told me right this second.
And we still ran the ball like 40 times, and we were successful. Unfortunately, we got down. We had a missed extra point, a missed field goal. It would have been a tie game. We just hurt ourselves. We had a touchdown at the very end of the first half there to claw our way back into it. I'm going to say now there's a GM that the Titans used to have who's getting inducted into the Ring of Honor this year with Jeff Fisher. Already has, Floyd Reese used to say, just get me to the playoffs. And we're still in a really, really good spot playoff wise. We're 94% to make the playoffs. You know, it's like or 96 to make the playoffs and a 94 to get the first seed still. So we're still in Cruiseville right now, especially. I mean, we'll bring that up in a moment, but with a team that I needed to taking a loss this weekend, that helps us as well. So we're down a lot of people. We're coming into the bye, Chad. Start getting your money ready because we're going to start turning some heads again.
Well, I'm going to just tell you this. Obviously, I was watching the Bucs at 1 o'clock. We can talk about them in a second. So I was watching Red Zone on the TV, also on my computer. And I honestly felt like every single highlight was against the Titans and against the Steelers. And all I kept thinking was, and Tampa played like shit in the first half. And I was like, this is going to be a really depressing show. Like, do we all just call it truce and we just leave this alone? If all three of us played that bad.
Well, that's Joe. It's funny you say that. I got this group that I talk with down south. One's a Dallas fan, one's an Eagles fan, one's a Colts fan. Of course, there's a couple of Titans fans in there because of the area they're in. And going into that weekend, one was a Rams fan too. Everybody was talking shit, especially after the Dallas loss, because you got to make fun of a Cowboys fan when they lose. I mean, it doesn't matter how they lose.
Chance you get.
You got to make fun of them. So we're really going in on this guy. And of course, going into the weekend, he's talking his smack, and every one of us lost. So, 10 o'clock that night, it was one of those, nobody's saying shit on Monday, right? We're gonna eat this ourselves.
Yeah, we'll just move on.
Yeah.
On to week 13.
That's right.
I don't have a lot to say about the Steelers game. It's not because they're giving Shane a bypass. I just didn't watch it, and I kept seeing highlights, and it looked like Joe Mixon just did whatever he wanted. And
that's right.
I don't know what else to really bring to the table other than I was like, man, like I've backed the Steelers, and I don't know if I can keep backing them defensively because they had starters back. Offensively, they don't do anything that scares me anymore. I always thought they were just going to stay in games, and Ben was doing all right. And then the Bengals, I don't really know what to expect from the Bengals or what to call the Bengals. I don't know what Bengal team is going to show up. But to slap a division opponent, I don't care what division. It could have been like this, if the Saints slapped us, I'd be hard on my team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anybody in the NFC South that's that good. And I don't think there's anybody outside of the Ravens who are that good in the AFC North. So to get slapped by a bunch of teams when you're all 500, I don't know if it really separates them, but I think it shows that there's tiers to that division, and unfortunately, the Ravens are just that much above everybody else.
All right. Well, I mean, that I've been talking good things about the Bengals. I'm not the Bengals in general, but I really like Burrow and I like Chase. I like them being together, Burrow and Chase. And it was funny. It was like the things that I was talking about, like if they win this weekend, are you going to give them respect? No, he says. And then, of course, they drop like a 40 burger on him, which is crazy, right? And I don't know if you got to see the bomb that he threw up to T. Higgins. That was a beautiful throw. Minka came back, gets a pick, and I mentioned how Minka being back is going to be pretty important for their team. He gets a pick. It's like I called all these things happening. But, like, man, those Bengals are good. I like that team. I really do. And, again, when they beat a team like the Steelers, I know the Steelers are hurt all over the place and everything, and they had some players that came back this week, but they're still hurt. And it doesn't matter. That's a big win for a division team like the Bengals. The Bungles, they had that name for 20 years, man, and they're still trying to wear that thing off, right? And now I do have to say also, I know Shane has said that he thinks he's going to be back next year. That Ben Roethlisberger is washed, man. I'm not on that train anymore. The guy is like, he couldn't throw an out route yesterday. He had to pick off that out route, that one of them. It's troublesome for him. And I don't know, man. There's no reason to carry a team that can't throw the ball 15 yards down the field accurately anymore, or carry a quarterback just because of a nostalgia. And I know it's tough to move on. I know it's tough to find that next quarterback anyway. It might just be time to give somebody else the reins. You got Dewey there. See what you got, right?
I don't think there is anybody else there. I think that's what it comes down to.
Is Ryan Fitzpatrick going to be playing ball there next year?
No, I just don't think there's anybody else there. I think that's what it comes down to. All right, we got a couple minutes left before Lane hops on. I ain't going to talk about my Bucs and how they helped out your boys really badly. And the one thing we did, and it actually surprised the hell out of me, is we let they call him Playoff Lenny, is what they called him last year. They unleashed him in week 12, and I don't think anybody was ready for it.
Man, that was for real. Like, I haven't seen the Bucs run the ball like that since the playoffs. And they were having their way against a very good defense, right? Which I must mention going into that weekend, Chad, we had a conversation about the linebackers there. Did you happen to, I know he missed part of the game because he was injured.
He missed the whole first half, so don't start with me. And when he came back on the field, they played significantly better.
Well, he finished the game with 3 tackles, whereas Leonard finished with 15 of them solo, a forced fumble, and a pass defense. I mean, the man's a maniac. That's what I'm saying. And he did against Tom Brady.
When you run the ball 40 times down the field, you're going to get tackles by your linebackers. That's a given stat. Jonathan Taylor didn't do too much with us at all.
Until late. They did the same thing. Rake didn't didn't decide not to use him until the end of the game. And they were actually working with him at that point, but then they went back to the pass again.
So, yeah, no, I was happy with the way we ran the ball. The defense looked atrocious in the first half. They made adjustments and they came back. I have a big question about Michael Pittman's effort levels after getting out jumped by a guy that's 5'9" when you're 6'4". I have Michael Pittman on my fantasy team, so actually I'm watching this ball in the air. And I'm like, this is really bittersweet for me right now. And then I see Winfield go up and get it, and I was like, that's not supposed to happen. Like, physics alone are supposed to say that's not allowed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you got out jumped by a man a half foot shorter than you. And I just put that down to effort. And if I was a Colts fan, that's what's my number one receiver, I'd be calling some people out right there. If I'm Carson Wentz, who, he's turned his season around, started playing a lot more productive, and then you have a guy that not go up and get a ball when you're in a battle for a game, and a big game too, knowing that, obviously you don't know what's happening with the Titans, but you're chasing a football team. Like, you can't be losing football games. And to not even go up and get a ball, at home. Not even go up and get a ball. I have a big problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's something they can worry about. At the end of the day, I'm happy we bounced back and we came back. Liam, how are we doing for Lane? Is he almost ready? Hey, you can bring him on in then. All right. But yeah, other than that, as the Bucs kept rolling, which is nice. I think we need a win after the last few weeks, because I told you before I was worried about November. We had the slump last year.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna get Fournette going and Gronk going, I think we can do some pretty good things. Having AB back, we need him back so bad though. The offense looked very generic without him. The pass.
Did Vega get hurt? I don't know. I saw him on the sideline late in the game.
He got his tooth knocked out.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Kept playing.
Oh, that's what it was. And then Bruce Arians was asked after. Yeah, you tell me. You tell me.
Yeah, he's got 30 more. He's good.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about his tooth.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
What up? I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, look at you repping the hat. I'm repping the brand too.
Oh yeah, I see it.
I did it just for you.
I like it.
That's
good.
That's a sick shirt you got on too, there, Lane.
Oh, appreciate
I'm liking that.
Yeah, they didn't sell that one on the bookstore website. Let me tell you.
No, they didn't.
You got to earn that one.
Special edition.
So anybody who doesn't know, Lane is the punter down in Jackson State, and you guys have a massive championship game coming up next week. But before we get to that, man, it was your Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all.
Ours was about a month ago, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
It was on a Monday back in October. We'll let it slide. Did you go back home for that, or just stay
I
on
did. I went
campus?
home. We had practice. I think it was Wednesday morning. Then I went home right after practice. Drove 3 hours up north to North Mississippi, and then after that, I just spent from Wednesday to Sunday in Pontotoc, Mississippi, good old town. And then I drove back Sunday for practice at 3 o'clock, and then I'm back in Jackson.
I don't know what it is, but when people from Mississippi say Mississippi, it's like the best thing ever, man. I love it.
What's
From
it
old
sound
Mississippi. Old Mississippi.
like? Mississippi.
Mississippi. I love it. So how are Tigers doing? Lane, tell us. How's the season been?
We're doing amazing. You know, we're 10-1. Only loss was to FPS school that we played them close. You know, we only lost by like 3 or 4. Our defense didn't allow a touchdown. It was only field goals, so they had like 12. I won't say we had 7 or 9, one of the two. I don't know, but it was a close game. Came down to field position. They held the ball the longest, so I mean they won. We made the plays, but they just made more plays.
I think it almost helped put your school on the map, though. Like it got you some national recognition, right?
Oh yeah, easily. I feel like just playing them that close showed that we're like that team. Like we can't be played with, and like we're gonna make the plays, and we're gonna execute everything. You know, we're not a pushover like we used to be.
No, you guys definitely are not a pushover. You guys have been rolling this year. I have been following. You guys have probably one of the most exciting quarterbacks I think I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, Shador, he's crazy good. He reminds me like he's not as fast as Johnny Manziel, but he has like the slipperiness. Like
I don't think you can tell him that he's not as fast as Johnny Manziel. I think those were the fighting words to a son of Sanders.
Does he have a patented celebration too?
Yeah.
Does he have any type of celly? No.
No.
He's got to get one of them.
I do know that he told me I was faster than him when we were doing conditioning one day, so I'm gonna hold him to that.
Yeah, you should get him to put that in writing. So down the road, you can throw that back at him when you're like 50 years old. You're like, hey, by the way, this guy right here, I was faster than him, and he admitted it.
And his last name is Sanders.
And his dad was pretty fast.
So 10-1, that's huge. Like that. What type of growth has the program had over the last few years? Like, have they seen double-digit wins a lot, or?
No, I don't think they've seen a winning program in the last. I think 2011 was the last time.
So you said winning program? Even it said like above 500 was 2011.
Above 500. I want to say I don't hold me to
hell.
that, but it's been like so long since they had this winning season. They finished like 4-6 or 4-5 like for a while. But they just could never get over the hump, you know what I mean? But this year is like a whole different turnaround. Like, it's crazy. How do you win 10 games in one season, you know? Like, you go from 4 and whatever it was to 10 games.
I guess you must just have, like, arguably the most influential football speaker there is as a coach, right?
I mean, yeah, that does help a lot. That helps more than
I feel like if you have, like, 2 minutes with that man, you're ready to run through a brick wall at any point, right?
You're ready to run through, like, 3 brick walls. Like, the pregame speeches are the most like inspirational speeches I've heard. Like his mind, the way it thinks, and the way he can translate it to make us think that way is crazy. Like how we believe in what he says and how it just. It's hard to explain. I just know that the speeches get me pumped up. Like I'm ready to go.
So I was going to ask about that, and I know it's a very intimate thing to talk about pregame speeches with the coach and stuff. So you don't have to give me words at all. But like, does he draw back on past experience and talk about something, or is he just straight talk about the game? Is it just week to week, team to team?
It's different. Like he says, whatever God lays on his chest is what he tells us. Okay, the one that sticks out to me is talking about time. He was like, I've had my time. And then he was like, when your mother was having you, they said it was time. And then they was like, when we were called on you for somebody to make a play, it's time. And then it was like, he pointed at the time and was like, it's time. And then he asked us what time it was. We were like, it's game time. And then it just was crazy.
Yeah, that one just hit you right in the chest, eh?
Oh, yeah, I got the goosebumps, bro.
That gave me chills just talking about it again.
Yeah, Kalen's ready to play some Madden now, just on that.
Yeah.
You guys are playing Prairie View A&M, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you guys been watching film all week on them? Like, you guys, like, what do you expect from them?
Oh man, we started watching film. So we played Alcorn last Saturday. They shared film Sunday, so we've been watching film even on the off week. But me as a specialist, we don't really have like special teams meeting yet. But the other guys, like the position groups, they've been watching film since the day after the last game. And then I feel like I watched the last game when they played Mississippi Valley. The run defense wasn't all that, but I could be wrong. And then their quarterback, he can't throw between outside the numbers. He can throw between the numbers, and they got a good running back. So if we can stop the run game, the linemen, and make them throw, then I think we have a shot to win. But we also have to be able to dominate the line because last game they played, the Valley, they just hit them like right in the mouth. I think they rushed for like 150 yards. But, it was crazy. They're going to be a good team.
No matter what level of football you're coaching or playing or anything like that, the big thing, you control the trench, you usually control the game. I know you've probably heard that 10,000 times in your playing time.
Mm-hmm.
The one big thing I was wondering is, like, you guys have this. Is there anything that happens after this game? Can you guys go to a national championship, or does it end here?
So if we win this game, the SWAC Championship game, we have a chance to play in the Celebration Bowl. I want to say it's like the Cricket Celebration Bowl, which is the MEAC. It's like another HBCU division on the East Coast. And then they'll play the SWAC, which is our division, which is like the Southwestern division. And then we'll match up. Some people call it the HBCU National Championship. Some call it the Celebration Bowl. But it's labeled as a Celebration Bowl, so that's what I'm going to call it. But we have that game December 18th if we win.
Oh, all right. Now, you mentioned a film there, and you said there's not really much like film for you to watch. Like there's limited amount for you. Now, you come from like a guy who was a different position and grew yourself into being a punter. Do you ever go into those meetings and want to pick some brains or watch some film too? I feel like you might.
Yeah, okay. I'm like cool with the receivers. I'm cool with the DBs. I'm cool like with the receiver coach. I'm like, if you ever need another receiver, I got you. Me and the long snapper, he's a freshman. We both played receiver in high school. And we both tell the coach, like, if you ever need another backup receiver, we got you. We're white, we can catch. We're possession receivers. We're good.
We're willing to go over the middle.
That's my favorite part.
That's right. Yeah, with a hair like that, you have to.
Well, him and his long snapper had the same haircut.
Mm-hmm. Same haircut.
The Brawler brothers, right?
Well, we tried to get the snapper I was just talking about, the freshman. He had it, but he's from Texas, and he didn't really dig the Southern look as much, so he cut it off. But I was like, you gotta embrace it. You gotta, feel for it. You gotta be confident with it.
That's right. He's from North Texas. Is that how that works? You said it's like the Southern look. I figured Texas is Southern.
Well, see, to me, I feel like Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, they're Southern, but you got different parts of South America. You got like Mississippi, they're in a division of their own, Mississippi and Alabama. Then you got like Florida, which is like the uppity South. And you got Texas, which I haven't been to Texas much, so I really don't know. But I know the snapper that came over, he's not as Southern as us. So
there's not many times that Florida's been referred to as uppity. So I'll let you have that one just because of the reference of where it was. Bunch of rednecks up there, right?
Yeah, there ain't many rednecks out there. We got rednecks every corner in Mississippi.
So
there was a fun fact, though.
Go ahead.
You said that your Thanksgiving was in October. I remember watching Canadian League, and I was like, why is Thanksgiving in October? They have already passed Halloween.
I think it's your Columbus Day, isn't it? Your Columbus Day weekend, I think, is our Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I was like, okay, they got the holidays a little mixed up. I ain't gonna say nothing, but cause I saw one announcer, he was like digging into a turkey leg, and I was like, okay, they don't have it.
So you watch the CFL?
Your Thanksgiving. I used to book it off every single year. This was the first one I think in a long time I've actually worked.
Oh wow!
And I literally sat at work watching football the whole time.
Yeah, I watched I think it was a game or two. I don't know how many games were on that day, but I watched two, maybe.
I think ever since I got my big person job, this is when I realized that nobody else really cares about football. When I was working in the bars and everything, it was every Thursday I was making sure, or that Thanksgiving Thursday, that I wasn't going to be working it, so I could have that day off. Even like this weekend or this week, I tried to go Happy American Thanksgiving, and I didn't really get much back on that one. So. So yeah, man. But yeah, I remember when I was visiting my sister actually our Thanksgiving weekend, and that was just in Indiana. And just the woman, I meet this girl, and she goes, "So what do you guys have for Thanksgiving up there?" I'm like, I'm 6 hours north of you. I have the same thing that you have, man. Drumsticks and turkey. What are you talking about? Dressing, or stuffing, whatever you want to call it. Depends how far south you go. If they would call it dressing, right?
Yeah, I mean, you hear stuff and you hear dressing. I mean, it's food, so I eat it.
So you caught the CFL game? You're watching some CFL ball?
Yeah, I watched a little bit. There's a guy from my hometown that plays for the Tiger Cats, and then there's a punter. Oh, I forgot the name, but he's in the league, and I watch him a little bit. So I mean,
That's right.
I have somewhat grasp of what's going on, but it's hard to keep up with it.
So you've seen the weird
Ticats
rules,
are an
right?
hour away from us. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's way different.
And they're playing in the Eastern Final this weekend too.
Oh wow, what time or what day?
Sunday, I believe, because
Is it Sunday?
the Canadian National Championship Saturday, I believe, for college. So I think they're Sunday. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
They got like a really weird stadium too. It almost looks like it looks like Western Stadium almost, doesn't it? Just a bigger version of it kind of thing, the way it's designed. It's just a bunch of like bleachers, but it's just like a bunch of openings. It's not like kind of circled in like a normal stadium would be. It's really strange looking, man. Almost as if we could sneak into it.
You might be able to.
Ottawa, you can actually watch the game from a hill. You didn't even gotta buy tickets for it.
Really?
What? Really, eh?
Yeah,
What?
they have like 3 breweries that are right outside, and you can literally go buy beer at the brewery, sit on a hill, and they just let you watch the game.
Wow.
And it's
That's
at the end.
Canadian.
It's at the end of the end zone. Yeah,
How nice
That's what
are
I
we,
see.
huh? That's right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
I've
So you
never
got the
bought a
chan-
ticket to Ottawa for a football game. I'll tell you that much.
When you're watching the CFL game, did you get to see how the wide receivers run at the line?
Yeah. Okay. I noticed that. I've been watching it. Like watching it. When I say watch it, I don't keep up with it, but I watched a few games when I was growing up, and I was like, that's really cool how they can like get a head start in front of the DB kind of, and
Yeah.
either blow by them or just stop. I mean, it's pretty cool. I think we should.
Wait,
do
it's
it.
a
our,
wagon.
our guys get like 7 yards or whatever running at the line of scrimmage, and if you guys even move like a half inch towards the line of scrimmage, it's a flag, right? Illegal shit.
Right? We can't even move before the ball snaps.
That's brutal, man.
Funny story about the Waggle. We had a kid from Connecticut come out and play with us this year, and I sent him the film the year before, and I was like, "Hey, so like watch the." He was a quarterback and he was inside slot receiver. And I was like, "These are the 2 positions you have to watch." And his exact words were, "Why is everybody moving at the same time?" That's the first thing he asked me. That was it. Nothing else.
What?
Didn't notice nothing else on film. He's like, "Why are you all moving at the same time?"
So, like our next segment we were going to talk about is college football. Lane, you want to stick around for some college football?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely in for that. You
I figured that'd be
Matt
up your
Corral
alley.
in the house.
Yeah,
What?
that Matt Corral game. I figured that'd be up your alley, a little bit college football,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Corral, man, that was a great game. We were watching that at Shane's actually.
Well, I actually went to the game with my girlfriend. He balled out.
Oh, really? That's special. You got to see him play. That's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
So, what do you think? Is he the first quarterback taken in the draft this year?
See,
Now that
my
we know that
girlfriend-
Rattler's not sticking around, right? Did you
I
see
mean,
that?
My girlfriend just asked me that same question. I was like, I don't know if he can do the same thing he can do in the NFL as he does in college. I mean, he's really a good thrower. He has a deep
Mhm.
ball. I mean,
Mhm.
when he wants to run somebody over, he'll run somebody over. So I really don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends on what the team needs that got the first pick. I don't even know who has the first pick.
I don't
John
think
Fox.
there's a quarterback that goes before 12.
Oh, wow. When was the last time a
What?
quarterback went out of the top 10? I don't
was
even know.
talking about
Maybe
this-
Liam, you might have to look that up for us. Last
was
time a
talking to my
quarterback was
buddy
drafted outside
today.
of the top 10.
And it's just there's a lot of good quarterbacks, but there's just not too many guys that I think are ready to go that early.
Yeah.
And I was like, and what I said was, I want to know what's going to happen is when you see all these teams gets around like 11, 12, 13, like start jumping and reaching and trying to get their guy, and how many draft picks get traded to move up from like 21 to like 13 to
Mhm.
get your quarterback. And like I think between like 15 and like 25, I think we can see like 6 guys go.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they never
the
go
bid.
because they never go that late, right? So you can get a steal on them.
I mean, that's a good way to put it. I don't feel like. I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I think the Jaguars have the first pick.
Yeah, they're not drafting another one.
Yeah, I was about to say they need
They've had
some
their
O-line,
time.
something else.
hmm
But yeah,
So,
the
Chad,
big
what do
game
you wanna-
this weekend was Michigan, Ohio State. I can't believe I'm even talking about this. It disgusts me so much. I hate Michigan so much. And I had
Going into this weekend, Lane, these boys had no respect for Michigan at all. They were dropping lines that were like 19-point underdogs at one point. I thought that was crazy. They corrected
Wow.
themselves. They came back and realized it was 8 points, which I still thought was insane to be giving away when they're playing at the Big House. And
Right at
Chad,
Michigan, it's so hard
at
to lose
Michigan.
there.
That's right. And Chad, did you happen to see how many false start penalties Ohio had?
Yeah, 5.
That's 6 actually. 6. But
Oh,
I think it
thought
was
it 5.
I think it was double the false start penalties they had all season or something like that. I think it was what I read.
Wow.
So
Oh,
that just
man.
goes to show what the big house does. And I hate John Harbaugh, bro. Or Jim Harbaugh. Sorry.
Jim. I
Jim, yeah.
cannot like. First off, Kaylin, I've talked shit about Michigan since I came out of the womb. It wasn't just 1 week. Let's just get this straight.
You're right. You're right. You haven't liked him forever.
This
right.
isn't like a new thing. But the way they move the ball on first down, they just abused Ohio State's defense. They converted, I think, like 60% of their first downs, or just under 60% of their third down. Sorry, but when you only have to go 3rd and 3, it makes life a whole lot easier. And like I know, like you being a punter, Lane, like if you see 3rd and 3, you're thinking you don't have to punt.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Like if I see anything under 3rd and 5, I'm like, oh, I'm good. I ain't got to punt.
So when you have that much confidence and you can execute the way they did, and the way they just beat up and bullied Ohio State on first down, of course they're going to win a football game. And I feel sick even saying these things, and it bothers me a lot. But I think they could be a scary team in the playoff, and I never thought I would say those words. But now, like, watching them do what they did, or is this Ohio State team actually that bad? And that's the other question I wanted to ask, right? Because Oregon did the same thing to them, and I just thought it was an off day. But to happen to you twice in 1 year, oof.
Crazy.
I'm going to say if this game was played in Ohio, they wouldn't have lost. They gave up 70 yards penalty yardage that they typically don't do throughout the year. It wasn't as if it was at the tail end of the game that Michigan really, really took over. They played 2 3/4 of a quarter, really good football or close football. And then, the run game was able just to put it away. And Shane called that going into the weekend. He said the only way Michigan's going to win is if they have a really good run game. And they did. They brought the run game. It was nice they were able to play at home and didn't have to travel or deal with the fans of the opposing fans. But if I think it was in Ohio, I don't think that Ohio's a bad team. Like I said, even if Notre Dame made it to the playoffs, I think Michigan making the playoffs, they're going to get wiped. They're going to get the floor mop with them.
Yeah.
The players that are in that playoff pool are far better teams than they are. Good for the program. I don't know if you heard Harbaugh's comment at the end about Ryan Day, but that's going to spark some controversy for next year. He said some people are born on 3rd and think they hit a triple. So, I mean, that's a little rough. I don't know if Ryan Day was talking shit walking into the game. I know that Ohio State as a players and as a team always do. But to go at the opposing coach in that way is a little bit rough.
That's wild, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I did see that they were playing in the snow, and the running back, is his name Haskins for the Michigan?
Yeah.
Yep.
Haskins, yeah.
That guy is really good. He's good.
Yeah. It was like he's kept his footing on a very slippery turf multiple times. But it wasn't even just him. The quarterback took shots. Like the one deep shot that he took downfield there. You don't expect a shot like that typically to be thrown against Ohio State DBs. He took it. So props to him. Props to Michigan. They're just going to get – and next week they got Iowa. I think that's going to be a pretty easy game for him, right? Chad, what do you think about that? Yeah? You think so? You been following Iowa? Because I know these guys were earlier in the season, you guys were liking Iowa quite a bit. Until Shane unfortunately had to write the article.
But goodbye.
I waved goodbye. That's right. So, Chad, you think that Michigan or Iowa has a chance against Michigan, or are they not that good?
I don't think Iowa is that good. I think they're on the weaker side of the Big Ten, which helps. But it's going to pad anybody's stats. And like I said, I hate even saying these things. I think Michigan is that good. I hope they don't treat it as a trap game because they need to win out.
Mm-hmm.
As a Notre Dame fan, like now we need a lot of help. Like that I think to me that solidified us not going to the playoff. Because now the only way we can get in is if Cincinnati loses, but that means that's our highest ranked opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how we can leapfrog them. I know they're going to try to, like, the committee will try to find a way to get Notre Dame in because they want, like, why wouldn't you want Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, and Notre Dame on the playoff? That screams TV.
So should Alabama be in the playoffs or no?
I think so.
Mm. You know, I walk into this weekend, Chad and Shane both said they have to start making statement wins. What was it, 4 OTs? They start to take over now?
with Auburn.
Yeah,
But
that's not a statement win. That's right. Exactly. So I'm a little bit worried about Alabama right now this year only. But yeah,
this year.
that's right. The other teams that are there, I mean, I don't know
But
if
like Oklahoma State didn't make a statement win against
Mm-mm.
Oklahoma.
No.
No.
So we're like, where are we calling this line? If you're telling me Oklahoma State's a better team than Alabama, I'm going to tell you that you're wrong.
Definitely not.
And like that's kind of what we're saying, right? We're saying statement wins.
Mhm.
If Oklahoma State goes and beats the lights out of Oklahoma, well then then you can probably make a case for them. I don't think Notre Dame's a playoff team, so I'm going to eliminate them from the pool.
Mhm.
But outside of that, like who else are you putting in? Cincinnati has to get in because they're undefeated. As much as I don't want to see them in there, I hope they put them in there. I hope they get spanked in the semis. We never have to have this conversation again.
You're such a hater on Cincinnati. You have not liked Cincinnati like the whole year. You're like, oh, it's a sweetheart story, but fuck them.
First off, I did not use the word sweetheart. I said fuck them.
Yeah.
I actually said to them, I literally said, they are the only team that I'm worried about Notre Dame playing. So I did give them a little compliment, a little backhanded one, but they still suck. So now the other big news is we had Lincoln Riley going to USC yesterday.
Yeah, there's that down south news, man. There's that down south news going out west. That's wild. It is wild. I mean, you're moving to the SEC, right? I know you got to get through the next couple of years to get there, but like, what the hell?
I think he's going to build his, I won't say resume, but he's going to, I don't know. I mean, that's crazy. He's going to make more of a statement, I guess you could say. But I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it in the SEC at the same time.
I can tell you why he didn't want to go to the SEC. They're going to be the number 3 team every year in the SEC.
Well, they might. See, like, they do have the advantage that most likely they would be in the easier conference or division in that conference. Texas would have the tougher one with Alabama. So they may be able to beat up their division quite a bit or play against their division after a couple of years. They probably wouldn't do that right away, unfortunately. But like, is USC still this glorious job? Because Oklahoma gave Lincoln Riley everything he wanted and more since he got there. I feel like, and then all of a sudden now he just jumped ship to go to USC. I don't understand. Are they still the Holy Grail at West?
I think he's going to bring quarterbacks back to USC. Like, remember, like, Lane, you were a child, so you might not remember this. But, like, when Kayla and I were in our teenagers, everybody came through USC.
Yeah, I know about Matt Barkley, and then there's another guy that came through before him.
Barkley, Leinart, Carson Palmer, and I'm missing one more. There's 4 Mark Sanchez. So 4 in a row went to the NFL. Just like how Lincoln Riley did that at Oklahoma. And I'm like, shit, he's going to bring that back to California.
And then today,
that's a good statement.
Well, then the other news that follows that 3 hours later, or 12 hours later, sorry, is that Rattler's entering the transfer portal.
That's wild.
Does he follow coach out to USC? I don't think he would. I mean, you don't get benched by that coach to follow him out there, but he is the quarterback guru, right?
True. See, I don't know if he would go stay with the quarterback that's already there, or would he recruit one, or would he bring in Caleb Williams? I don't know.
He could. Well, they already came out that they had a 5-star quarterback, the number 2 quarterback in the country, already decommitted from Oklahoma.
Wow. So yeah, he's probably going to.
So you're saying there's a chance that Texas could land him?
I wouldn't go that far. There's a better chance he ends up at Jackson State than he does at Texas.
I don't know if he's going to Jackson State. We got Shador.
That's right. Yeah.
As long as he doesn't end up at Texas, that's all I care about. That's all I care about right now, Lane. Got to back me up here.
Oh yeah, I got you. He can come here. He can't be the holder though, because I'm the holder.
So we got the game tonight. We got the Ravens, right? Or not the Ravens, sorry, the Seahawks playing I almost called them the R word, the Redskins.
Yeah, you almost got in trouble.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Not the first time we've said that on this show.
Yeah. Are you been paying attention to the NFL this year at all, Lane? Quite a bit or no?
I've been trying to. I mean, as much as I can. We got practice on Sunday, so I really can't watch all the games. I just watch the late games on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday.
So who you been following then, if anybody at all?
My favorite team's the Giants. You know,
hey,
how are you a Giants fan coming from Mississippi? How does that work? Oh, okay. Ole Miss. All right. That makes sense now. I was like, man, you're far away from home.
But I was telling all my friends in here, hold on, let me look at the schedule for the Giants. So y'all can call me crazy, but the Giants are about to go. They're going to end up like 9 and something.
Don't you got to play the Eagles and Dallas? Like 2 more times, or at least 1 more
Oh
time?
yeah, we gotta play. Hold on, it's not loaded. We gotta play the. I think we got the Chargers next. We're gonna beat them. They're struggling right now. Dang, it ain't loading right now.
You heard it here first, guys. On Monday, Lane is calling that the Giants are going to beat the Chargers. All right. What's your
Easily.
go
Chargers
cool
are
bet?
trash
Put your
lately.
money down. Yeah. There you go.
Hold on.
While you're looking that up, so we got the Seahawks and we got the Washington football team. What are you looking at it tonight, Chad? You're the NFC guy here.
Honestly, this is a game I'm probably just not going to watch, and I don't care.
Heineke doesn't excite you? Come on.
I'm sorry, backup quarterbacks do nothing for me.
What about fourth down quarterbacks?
What's that?
What about fourth
Fourth
down quarterbacks?
Well, in my offense, we don't get fourth down, so we don't got to worry about that.
Okay, third down.
No, and I think Russ is now back an extra week. He's back with the guys. I think he's going to take care of business as he should. Heineke's actually not that bad. I'm not going to sit here and trash the kid. I think Seattle's defense is atrocious. So I think they can both. I think they're both going to get some points. I would definitely take the over in this game. I didn't realize how close Washington was into the playoffs until we were kind of talking about it this morning, me and Kaylin. I didn't realize if they win tonight, they're the 7th seed and they're in.
Yeah.
So
You got two things, I think, pieces to the puzzle here on either team that are got to make statements tonight. You got DK, who acted like an absolute child the other game, who's really got to come out and, be by his quarterback and do what he needs to do to win the game. Stop acting like an idiot on the sidelines. But then you got this Washington defense too, that Sneaky is doing the right things at the right times. And that front seven is super strong. They're very silently strong. I don't think we talk about them ever on the show, but when you have the front 4 or front 3 on the ground that you even have in their 3-4 system there, they run. They're very, very quick to the quarterback. They stop the run really, really well. So offensive line in Seattle is not good. We know that. That's a recipe for disaster. And we don't exactly know how healed up this finger is, right? Like how much grip are you actually putting on the ball? I didn't watch the last game, so I don't know whether or not the moonshots were there. Chad, I wanted to mention, by the way, I want to bring up that Bucs game. Carson Wentz did drop a moonshot on you guys that game, didn't he? Holy shit, 62 yards.
I wish we could just mute your microphone.
Wait, are you?
Whatever we won. Don't start with me. All right, we won our game. You guys are even close.
Yeah, we got our asses kicked. No, but yeah, I don't know if Russ is going to be able to take those deep shots that he's used to. I think this is going to be more about getting the ball in DK's hands and letting him make a move. But they did bring the running back off the IR, so I mean, maybe they lean on him a little bit.
The other
But
thing I wanted
to
sorry, go ahead. Yeah, he's an Ole Miss boy.
Yeah, Mississippi.
That's right. So you're saying,
I
Chad,
got
the
one
other thing?
question about college football though.
Yeah.
Does Cliff Kingsbury go back to Oklahoma?
No.
You know what?
You don't think so?
I don't know. Man, I the way that he shot the rumor down today, I don't want to touch that, or I don't know. He's one of those coaches who's been given everything he wanted in Arizona, right? He was able to trade away that first round pick that was already there to get the quarterback that he wanted. Kyler Murray is really grown. I mean, you'd be foolish to leave that. Look, we've seen the setup he has at draft time. We know what he's living in. Why the hell are you moving that to go back? What was the team that he was rumored to go to?
Oklahoma.
Was it Oklahoma? Yeah, I don't think there's any place like that in Oklahoma, unfortunately. I think he stays in Arizona in that beautiful house.
He might, yeah.
With what he's built in Arizona, I think it'd be really hard for him to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is a really sexy job, though, to a lot of coaches. I think it'd be hard to turn down that job because you're probably going to make more coaching college than you would in the NFL at a place like Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think I did see Cliff Kingsbury name get tossed in there. I actually have no idea who might be the guy that's going to go there. I know they keep linking Brian Kelly to LSU, and Shane's chirping me right now on the chat there about it just to get me going. But yeah, no, I don't know who's going to end up in Oklahoma. I don't know who's going to end up in LSU. I didn't see that move coming today, and I think that's what throws so many people off.
True. You never know.
Yeah.
I had another question. I forgot, though. Oh, let me see. The Giants. Okay, we're about to see this. All right, they're going to beat the Dolphins, the Chargers, the Cowboys in 3 weeks. That's going to be a good game. They're gonna beat the Eagles, the Bears, and the football team. So they're about to win the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games out of 6.
So literally, you just became the new Kalen because last year Kalen said the Titans were going 15-1. So you are now the new Kalen, and I don't know if we can ever have you back on our show now, Lane. We had a good run. We really liked you. We can only have one Kalen though. We can't have 2 of them.
You got
I love the G-Men. I've been tooting their horn for a year and a bit now, and I love Danny Dimes, so I'm okay with what you're saying, Lane. But I do think that there's a buzzsaw you're going to run into with the Eagles because I don't know what the hell happened this past weekend, but the Eagles team is far better than that, I think.
I mean, they would, but when they're playing the Giants, we like to.
Who's at home in that game? Against the Eagles.
The Eagles, I think.
Oh my God, you got to go play the Eagles in the wintertime against those fans? Those poor players are going to get pelted with snowballs for no reason.
Okay, if Danny
Santa.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna be first or second in our division, though. I do know that.
All right, Lane, we're almost done. We're almost wrapped up. So tell us why we should all watch your game on Saturday and what we do expect before we get out of here.
What would you expect from me or the team? Because the team's gonna win. I might not punt because we're gonna put up points. You'll see me hold though. You can get a good shot of me holding. If you're lucky, you'll see me hold the trophy up after the game. But easily.
That's a picture that's worth $1 million, isn't it?
Easily, and then I can just float out like that. But
so what's cool? I know that you're asking him. What is Shane giving you a hard time about Brian Kelly here?
Going to LSU.
Is this real? Liam, we're going to need you to look this up before the end of the show. We might have to air this if it's real because we might see actual tears running down Chad's face if it is.
No, you'll see my camera go to a black screen because this phone call's over.
What?
Oh my God, he's leaving the Golden Caps.
What?
That's crazy. He doesn't get to beat up on Navy every day or every year? Jeez. Oh, man.
I will tell you right now, I don't fuck with traitors. And he's dead to me as of tomorrow, if that's the case.
Oh, man.
All right. So on that note, go enjoy your Monday Night Football game, guys. Thanks for that. No, Lane, actually, though, good luck this weekend, man. Thanks for coming on. We love having you on. You and I talk all the time. Get that trophy, man. Come back to conference champions. Bring it back to Mississippi for the boys.
We need to work out getting a jersey from you, though. I need to hang something from you from somewhere.
Oh, I got
That's
you.
What we need to make happening.
See, Chad already got a jacket. I might have to. I'll send y'all both something because
all right, man. I'm digging it.
Gotcha.
I like it.
All right, man. Thank you very much. And obviously, thank you to our sponsors. Can't do it without them. Cool Bet and Toboggan. And Joe Cool's. Best place to get pizza in London. So make sure you get some. Lane,